That's how I'm doing. Thank you. Thank you. Just keep him in prayer. Keep my family in prayer. You know, don't give up on him, because he definitely didn't give up on himself. He's strong right now. I've talked to him several times. I've talked to him through the whole process. I talked to him through the whole process. I was on the phone through the whole time. The whole time I was on the telephone, except when they cuffed him. Once he got in the car, I was on the phone with him. So he is in good spirits. He is okay. And trust me, I have some very good attorneys. And I didn't say attorney. I have some very good attorneys. I have some very good attorneys. Thank you. Love you too. Love you too. So,
ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuned in to Let's Talk Battle Rap Podcast, the Battle Rap Podcast of New York and the Battle Rap Podcast of the world, Craig. As always, log on to letstalkbattlerap.com for the latest of all the news and articles in battle rap, and follow us at LTBR Podcast on all social medias. Tonight, we got an action-packed show for you. We're going to be talking about new URL signees. We're going to be sprinkling in some Queen of the Ring announcements. We're definitely going to get into the homecoming card and talking a little bit about Av, talking a little bit about this, a little bit about that. So stay tuned for another action-packed show. As always, I'm Vlad, and right now I want to introduce y'all to my main man, Mr. 25K. Big France in the building. What up, player? Another Sunday. We made it, man.
Another Sunday, we're here, and salute to everybody that follows the platform on Twitter. 25K.1 followers.
Oh, excuse me, man. Let's not shortchange ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody tunes in and taps in for their news. Big hip hop media outlets. A lot of celebrities. My man Gerald McCoy. My man Damian Lillard. You know what I'm saying? Because a couple people to name.
Jay Farrow,
Jay Farrow, that follow little LTBR, you know what I'm saying?
Chuck Creekmore, you know what I'm saying? AllHipHop.com. Yo, France, me being as old as I am, you guys got to realize that AllHipHop.com is like, that's like a staple in hip hop websites, son. Like, it's bananas, man, when I think about it. So to have all those people following us and coming to us for the latest news as the #1 news source on Twitter for battle rap, man, it says a lot, yo, about the hard work and dedication we've been putting in, player.
Shout outs to the CEO of All Hip Hop, who also follows us, TBR.
Yes, sir.
And he was also on Fox 5, Free Surf. You know, you got a chance to speak on the surf situations. Just want to go ahead and say free the wave. And if you guys are listening to this, there is a chance to actually send some impact letters to the wave himself. I have some information here. He posted from Tsu Surf's Instagram page. We are in need of impact letters for Tsu Surf. You can mail your letter to the address below before Tuesday, October 18th at Tsu Surf Holding LLC. The address is 137.5 Washington Avenue, number 231, Belleville, New Jersey, zip code 07109. If you need to rewind for 15 seconds to write that address again, feel free to get it. But if you can't get a chance to get a letter out, there is a chance to send an email impact letter. So that's right. For all you millennials that don't know how to go to the post office and lick a stamp or send a letter.
Make it convenient for your lazy ass, man.
There you have it. You can also send Tsu Surf an email. Feel free to send your email to African Alkaline. I'm going to spell it out for you guys. AFRKAN Alkaline. ALKALINE@gmail.com.
Yeah, man. All support and prayers out to Tsu Surf and his family and his mom. Man, I got to see his mom reacting to everything, and she was a G about it. I mean, she didn't shed a tear, but she was just very, straightforward. Like, we've been prepared for this. He's made a change in his life, but she said something that, sometimes things that you've done in the past can come back to haunt you. Mama Surf also said, if you don't hear it from me, then don't believe anything. And she also did say that, are we expecting time? She goes, yes, we are expecting time, but we're just hoping that, it's not a, a chunk of time that is excessive, or for the situation, and that she's got some good lawyers, multiple lawyers on the case. So as we know in life, people have a lot of trials and tribulations, and people go through things while they are transforming. So prayers and support out to Surf, and we just hope that the best of the situation can be made for him, and support to his mom and his daughter, because they're really going through it also. So nothing but love out there.
Yeah, man, free Tsu Surf, man. He moved out of Jersey for a reason, to get his life together. Was doing really good. Got his nice caffeine deal. Was doing the analyst thing. You know what I'm saying? Kind of became media. Damn near started the league. Had a great distribution deal with his music, putting out projects, doing shows. This is the most active he's ever been in battle rap. His 5 battle stretch between John, Calico, Twerk, Cortez, and JC in a span of 365 days is the most he's ever battled in 365 days. So he was active. He was actively working nonstop in all facets and areas to, stay out of trouble.
Yeah. And sometimes things just catch up to you. But hey, ain't nothing over until the fat lady sings. So, we got to sit there and wait day by day, see what the developments are. As of right now, with the arrest, he's been, hit with a count of RICO, also for racketeering, also a count of a firearm by a convicted felon. Also, there's a couple of charges there for, distribution, through the use of social media. So who knows what those mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, who knows what those things mean? Who knows how much they can stick to them? I mean, they always do say that when the feds come, they have everything lined up, but you never know. You never know what can, happen. So let's just see how it plays out and hope the best for his situation.
Yeah, man. Free the wave, man. Free the wave. And we will continue to keep the show on the road, as he would love for us to do so. You know what I'm saying?
Sir. Yeah, let's get into that nerdy, battle rappy stuff that Surf would love, because as we do know, Surf is a battle rap nerd too. Don't let it fool y'all, man.
Fact, man.
Do not let it fool y'all.
If he can find a way to stay in tapped into, and he would. I mean, during the time he would jump on spaces still talking battle rap stuff to ease his mind. So
that's kind of crazy, man. Those days played out like a movie, dog. Like, I'm like, what's happening? Huh? What? In space? Talking battle rap? What? On the who? They did what? Ran out of where? Huh? The pictures on the news? Like, this was, oh man. Like, talk about life being a movie, man. Life being a movie.
Battle rap is also a movie, my friend.
Yes, sir.
We were able to get some exclusive information over the weekend, and I got a chance to break a league verified story.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Breaking announcement that was made on Saturday that O-Red, Chef Trez, Bill Collector, and Kitchen Qleen, aka Qleen Paper, have all signed to URL for exclusivity deals. Now, the information that I was told for this report was that it was a 2-year exclusivity deal for all 4 of these MCs, right? I do want to clarify, I got a chance to talk to Bill Collector himself, because he spoke under the tweet saying he didn't sign for a yearly or a specific time period, but he's locked in for 4 major battles. There was a bit of a discrepancy there, so maybe his deal is also a part of an exclusivity that has a little bit more, I want to say, nuanced negotiations. You know what I'm saying? And those
more wrinkles to it.
Those nuanced negotiations come from somebody that is savvy, experienced, knows what he wants, and understands his value, effort, and output. So make no mistake, regardless, Bill is on an exclusivity deal. Might not be as the general one that everybody else has listed. His is a little bit more wrinkled and unique, which he didn't have to share that information, and he chose to.
France, URL picks up 4 strong players. 4 players who have proven themselves in the past, and 4 players who definitely have dynamic range when it comes to their ability. So they're just stacking up the players, man, loading them up, loading up the guns, and getting ready to bring them out. But each individual in the past have had shining moments on URL, And it's just interesting to see that, you know, some of these guys have had time away, like Chef Trez. Yo, what was most interesting was that so much love to Trez. Like sometimes you know, you don't necessarily see over the overpouring of support online at times, you know, on a day-to-day basis. But when an announcement like this gets made, you really see like, wow, a lot of people really do rock with Chef Trez and are definitely welcoming him back with open arms to the URL.
Chef Trez is one of the 7 MCs on the URL TV app that still holds an undefeated record, Vlad, at 5. You know what I'm saying? A couple more wins could rank that guy up in the top 20 of the league. I mean, he's already in the top 29. So when Chef Trez left URL and kept doing his thing, you know, on RB, King of the Dot, and all over the country, make no mistake, he was on top of his game when he was still here. And I feel like he can come back and still be an extremely productive battle rapper. There's a plethora of matches available to him as far as new talent surrounding his time frame, right? Like, and people that, you know, big plates as well, you know what I'm saying? So I'm happy to see Chef Trez back on the league. I feel everybody was kind of happy to see Chef Trez back on the league, you know what I mean?
Yeah, also we have Qleen is back, and people just hoping that he's on his game, on top of his game, because, you know, Qleen, he's definitely making a comeback and making strides in his last few battles. You can definitely see a concerted effort to really show up and deliver, although he didn't make it to his last scheduled battle that was on the Riot. But let's just say maybe there was discrepancies with the flight, and you know, so I'll leave that to them to solve and figure out. But when he has shown up to the battles, he's been pretty much on point. You know, you look at the battle with Geechi, I don't know, consensus is kind of saying Qleen won that battle. You know what I mean?
Small consensus, you know. I mean, like,
listen, man, it is a 3-time champ. Come on, man. Like, you know how that go. And it was in California, you know what I'm saying? But but I'm just saying, we can't act like we didn't see, you know what I'm saying, the community going,
you know, it's true. I mean, going into the battle, they felt very differently as the results played out. They were like, hold up, I wasn't expecting these results. And it's like, well, maybe you guys should stop having such an expectation gap between these guys. Like, Qleen is an extremely talented, charismatic, funny, street, deep-rooted, you know what I'm saying, energetic, presence-filled battle rapper. Like, he has all of the intangibles to be, you know, something very special, and he is special. The only problem is he's just not consistent, and that's literally the biggest problem. You know what I'm saying? Because then this other battle on GTX aside of the Geechi Gotti battle, that was A Ward. I thought he had some really good material for A Ward, but fundamentally wasn't sound enough to put it together. But it's funny because Qleen will go on Angry Fan and is like, all right, yeah, sure, I might have had my hands written on my raps, but old Qleen wouldn't have even done that. So it's like, you know what? I shouldn't be applauding you for just getting through your rounds or finding ways to have like a cheat sheet available while you rap. But he's right. He is putting in what he will perceive as more effort to his craft. And it's noticeable.
Hey, listen, Qleen, salute to you for trying. You know what I'm saying? Salute to you for putting in that effort and trying to give us those 3 rounds. Because
look, it's like if somebody's late an hour every day, and now they're like late 15 minutes. You're like, you know, you're still late. And it's like, yeah, but you know, I would have stopped and got some donuts and coffee on the way. I'm not even doing that now. I'm coming straight here on the highway.
It's a funny thing. A couple of keywords on the hand or on the arm. I'm not really that mad at it if the show goes on. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. If the show continues, you know, it lives. He had good material. Again, like I just said, right. If you go listen to his content for Ward, it was good. He's had good content all year.
No, man. Yeah, man. And then we also have Red, who's coming back. Red, who's been on a little chill time also. He's last time we saw him was in the tournament, you know, so now he's back 2 years on URL. And I'm just wondering what matchups, let's throw it out there like that. Anyone in particular you know you'd like to see Red go up against? Has he been throwing out any names that he wants to come back and battle?
There's been plenty of names that have asked for Red. Fonz has entertained a Red battle. Truffaut has called out for Red. I do want to report this, Vlad, actually. Interestingly enough, you know, Red's last battle on URL, right? The Danger Zone battle. Before obviously the tournament, he battled JC, but he had some time off, right?
Yeah.
And after the Danger Zone battle, he was about to battle Kid Chaos on Super Fight 2. You know what I'm saying? He was very close to having that battle, completed, and it was about to go down, and it never did. And at that time period, the biggest concern with O'Reilly wasn't like his talent, his pen. It was just, did he want to do these battles? And was he motivated all the way to give the best version of himself possible? And I think a little bit over time, something's happened, like against JC. I thought he gave a very good effort. Obviously, his voice started to wind down on him, and JC's a very hard guy to beat in the building. But the trilogy lived on. He had a good battle with Nun that I thought he beat. I thought he beat Nun. I think there's a lot of matches available for Red if he's open-minded to seeing all these new young talents that want to be in front of Red, the Transformer, the former champion of the year. Trufo, and I feel like Trufo will rise to the occasion with Red. Farms will rise to the occasion with Red. There's they've been entertaining a Rum Nitty rematch in Red. I don't really care for it, but I know Nitty is the king of rematches. T-Top and Red's not a bad battle. I would like to see that as well.
All right, Red, man.
Jones and Red, I like to see that as well.
Red, there's plenty of work for you out here, man. So let's see you bring it, Transformer.
Yeah, man. I want to talk about the bill collector part of this because it's a really interesting wrinkle. But before we dive into bill, pause.
Hey, yo.
Pause.
Whoa.
I'm sorry.
Whoa.
I'm sorry. Damn. I ruined the podcast. Before we dive into the bill collector signing.
Thank you.
Cleaned it up. I'm sorry. I apologize. Can we put a letter grade to these signings?
Oh, you want to do that? We could do that. Hey, man.
Let's do that.
You could do that.
We'll do A, B, C, D. If you want to put plus minuses in between, you can. You know what I'm saying? No Fs. I don't think there's an F in any of these signings.
Right.
To be honest, I don't think there's a D in any of these signings neither. But
hey, yo, say what? Say what?
This segment of the pod needs to get just discarded.
Move on, man. Move on. URL signed 4 people for a couple years.
All right, let's give a letter grade to these 4 signings. Let's start with Red. What you got?
Red, I give that a nice solid B. Nice solid B. Red is a guy who will be there for all the lyricist lovers, so you could always put him in a volume, in a light work, in a super fight setting. Just plug and play. You know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get sports bars. You're gonna get the similes. You're gonna get the wordplay. Of course, if you're signing these guys, you would also like to see these guys on a major stage also at least once throughout the year. If I was signing for 2 years, I'd say, hey, throughout the 365 days that are coming up, I need to touch at least one big stage, at least let me prove it so that perhaps I can get a chance to touch another big stage. But Red, I give it a nice solid B.
Yeah, I'm gonna also go with a B for Red as well. I feel like there's a lot of matches available for him, and a lot of the matches are people that are going to be hungry for the opportunity to battle Red. Like even throughout Red's inconsistencies or some of his losses that he may have endured during his tenure with URL as of recently during the app era, or even some of his battles outside of URL, nobody looks at him that way. Everybody looks at him as a threat.
Right.
All the MCs have this level of respect. Like, I don't care if that was a great Red that we just saw, a decent Red, underwhelming Red. The next one, I'm afraid. You know what I'm saying? I'm afraid if he can replicate his consistency, or he's going to try to bounce back after a performance he didn't like against me. You know what I'm saying? So everybody is going to be challenged for Red. I do like Red in smaller environments than the stage. You know what I'm saying? So the volumes, the light works, small rooms, bands. If JB wants to get creative and do any of these rooftop joints that I know he's been wanting to bring back for quite some time. There's some dope matches available for Red if you put him in the right environment for his content and his pacing.
Absolutely.
Let's go with Qleen, man. I'll kick it off. Vlad, I gotta be honest, man. I think this is a C. I think this is a C. Mainly because
we got to wait and see what's going to happen.
We have to wait and see what's going to happen. Mainly because Well, Qleen has been, I can't even use the word consistent this year, but entertaining this year, right? Like he has piqued my interest. When I see him on a card, I want to see what he's going to bring. He's had some good performances, definitely had some good content this year, from the Geechi battle to the A-War battle, you know, the Mac Myron 2-on-2. Like I've enjoyed some of Qleen's battles a lot this year. Nonetheless, his consistency will always be something that I question. I remember Qleen and Swamp was a match that was supposed to be a thing a while back, and I think the window for that has sailed. You know what I'm saying? I kind of liked when Qleen was doing his thing on his own circuits. You know what I'm saying? Like I really wanted to see him in Snake Eyes on the Riot. Fortunately, didn't get a chance to go down. So I'm wondering how much more matches available does he have left to him on the league, and does he have the people that will motivate him to really rise to that occasion? Maybe like a Kid Slade, right? I'm not sure what matches are left there for him, to be totally honest with you. But
See, Frank, I'm giving this a C+ because I'm trying to figure out where in the rotation that he's gonna fit in, and also, you know, from what you just mentioned, also that we've heard over the years, give me who I want and I will show up and I will do my thing. And then sometimes, you know, they'll give him what he wants and then it's not what we're expecting from him. So, and we know that Qleen is a guy who's always super busy outside of battle rap, and life thing comes up and street things comes up, and then it affects his performance and things of that nature. So there's always those wild cards of, all right, are we going to get, you know, someone who's going to stay consistently motivated throughout these 2 years? Could be, yes, for sure. Because like I said, I've definitely seen him making more of an effort with the battles, you know what I mean? But I'm just trying to figure out exactly what role do they see him playing, and can I trust him all the way around the board? With the other guys, I pretty much know what I'm gonna get every time. You know what I mean? With Qleen, I'm
right,
not always sure. So that's the only reason. If it's pure talent alone and the ceiling that he has, it's there. But it's just a matter of, will the motivation always be there to complete these battles and to bring that 100% that we know that he can bring?
hey, listen, man, you hit it nail on the head for me. I feel the same way. Chef Trez signing. Look, man, this is an A. All right, you seen the timeline. All right, the timeline was excited, man. All right, I gotta be totally honest, man. I haven't been overly excited seeing Chef Trez over the last couple years. He has been winning his battles for sure. He's a consistent professional. He's hit the 100 plus battle drop on YouTube club, which is a
Oh,
very,
he's on the 100 battle club.
in that club, man. It's probably maybe 11, 12 battles in total in that club, at least the English speaker ones. And I just, I really look forward to seeing him reinvigorated with such refreshing matchups available. Because since like the Sharon battle, like I'm just like, I'm like not all the way satisfied with the performances. Like I did like his battle with the Source. I still seen better Chef Trez than that.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? There is a couple matches on the radar for him. Like people proposing him and Luke Castro. So that's a fire battle. I'm here for it. Him
Yeah.
and Stumbles. You know what I'm saying? Him and I wonder if him and Swamp could go down on URL. We still need that battle, but that's a riot battle.
Mm.
He's battling on the final exams card. He's got matches available here, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this signing a B also. I mean, no, you gave it an A. I'm sorry. I'm giving this one a B.
Yeah.
You know, Chef Trez, like you said, fan favorite. People have been looking forward to him coming back. Also, he gives URL that other dynamic. We get another freestyler back in the mix. We get a rebuttal guy. You know, it gets fun. A lot of times you just got to shoot him up, bang, bang all the time. And now it's like, oh, what's gonna happen? Oh, so, and getting him back in that environment, I think we'll see a more motivated Trez. Because last battles, it's like he's there, he's giving you all 3 rounds. Sometimes it just seems like it's a little bit more on the calm, cool factor, where I feel like coming back to URL is definitely a chance to, get the engines into some higher gears there. And there's plenty of people who want to battle him too. That's the thing. Like Everybody wants a Chef Trez battle. They want one of the moments. They want to hear what 3 things are you gonna, come with, versus me. You know what I'm saying? That sounds crazy too. Yeah. But yeah, I had to pause myself. But no, but I'm giving this one a solid B.
Yeah. And the bill collector, we can talk about his grade, and then we can talk about
That one I'll give an A, man.
That's also that I'm giving that one an A plus. All right.
Oh, excuse me, player. Yeah, bill collector.
I'm giving that one an A plus because I want to give bill collector major prop for this. Right.
Okay.
He had 9 wins on the URL app before he left to go start his run over at King of the Dot, which he ended up being the winner of the season 1. Right. He ended up winning the entire season. He had 9 wins, and he was ranked like maybe 7th on the URL app for a very, very, very long time. And it wasn't until Swamp beat Fonz, which is what, in like late May, almost a year, is when Bill finally got knocked out of his top 10 spot and was number 11. All right. 2 years ago, 2020, he ended up number 6 champion of the year. Before that, he was number 18. So from 18 to 6, and then last year he was like 11 or 12. He has been a perennial all-time battle rapper right now, like all-star battle rapper. Like he's been rapping at that level. You know what I'm saying? I love what he did over at season 1. His entire finals run was amazing. He's got great matches available here. Rum Nitty, JC. You know what I'm saying? I wish maybe the K-Shine battle for 3 rounds could spin the block over here. You know what I'm saying? He has gotten battles over here, and he was a top 10 battler on the league before his departure. I'm glad he's back. And Billiano Dodano, it's an A plus for me.
Yeah, and even outside of the ring, you get extras when you sign Bill. He does media all the time. He does streaming. He's always promoting. He's always on Twitter. He's always in the spaces. So you know that you're going to get nonstop promotion. With O-Red, he disappears. You don't see as much promotion from him. You don't get as much engagement. He's about his business. He's about his craft, and he's about his privacy. Trez, you might see him a little bit more, but also, not someone who's just always in your face when it comes to just being visible. So with Bill, you get all those extra intangibles that come along with him. So it makes you, get more from your return when it comes to that signing. So that's also another reason why I want to give him an A, because he comes with those other factors.
Yeah, man. I love it, man. Overall, if I'm gonna give an overall grade to all 3 of these signings, like this is definitely a B. For of these signings, it's a B plus as a whole. You know what I mean? And I'm happy that Bill put the wrinkles into his contract because there's also a battle that people really want to see: Bill Collector versus Sheed.
Oh yeah. They gonna make that happen.
In fact, actually, check this out. URL did a poll on their Twitter page saying who would we like to see Bill Collector's next opponents be. They put JC, Tay Rock, Rum Nitty, and Sheet Happens on the poll. And Sheet Happens won the Twitter poll.
Yo, man. These young dudes, they done came up, man, over the course of these few months, man. That tournament helped out a couple of brothers in a way that I want to call it the Easy the Block effect, boy. Because remember, before the tournament, Easy the Block Captain was a battle rapper from Philly. After that tournament, France, and from there on after, he's been a superstar, and he's been the people's favorite. Like, I can definitely see the same things happening with a couple of guys, namely Sheed and Stumbles, who before this tournament, you couldn't say that they were on the same trajectory or the same level that they are at now. And that's only from a few weeks worth of work, man. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happened, man. Who would have thought we'd be hearing Sheed's name thrown amongst all those other legendary names to battle Bill Collector? You know what I mean?
Not only is his name in the mix, which is already a compliment to your stock and what you've been able to accomplish this year, your name is in the lead. Meaning,
right?
The fans want to see you versus Bill over Bill versus Tay Rock. Think about that for a second.
But I mean, even for the league to put it out there for the people to say, "Oh yeah, I do want to see Sheed versus him because they don't got to throw everybody's name out there. You know what I'm saying? So when they are throwing your name out there in the mix, that means that there's plans for you. That means that we want you to get that work, and you've proven that you deserve that work. So.
Yeah, man. I love the bill collector signing. I'm very, very, very happy for him. And it gets even sweeter. His first announcement out of say he locked in 4 major battles on the league. So I don't know if this is one of the 4. I'm gonna just assume that it is until proven otherwise. But we got an announcement today, right? Rum
Yes,
Nitty
sir.
versus Bill Collector will be battling at Traffic 5. Traffic 5 will be taking place in Arizona, November 19th. Look, let's just call it what it is, right? They didn't say it was the main event, but you're not gonna have Rum Nitty in Arizona. He's not the main event. All right.
Come on, dog.
Come on, dog. So shout out to Bill. Your first battle back, a headliner against Nitty.
Against the alien, dog. 2 aliens going at it, man. Because Bill himself is an alien. Like, let's not act like he's not. France, we've had. Oh man, I think I'm gonna bring a conversation that we had off air, on air, France, and I am prepared to hear the boo birds go crazy. But remember,
This one. Let me give you the flow.
Remember a while back we were having a discussion. I said, France, man. I mean, if you're sitting there and you're breaking it down bar for bar, flow for flow, delivery for delivery, intricacies along with the simplicities,
Right.
and being able to just be mad esoteric but still hood at the same time.
Right.
And friends, oh my gosh. All right, I'm just gonna say this. Friends, I told you that with Bill Collector and Loaded Lux, Bill Collector has been more lyrical to me, has shown me more pockets, and has developed more as an MC over the course of these past few years than Loaded Lux has. And I say it to you because I know you have an amazing battle rap brain, and you can put the biasness aside and assess that statement. And I was very happy with your response, player. But I'm telling you, Bill Collector is one of these guys. People just have to take the goggles off from whatever they thought about him in the past and realize that this guy is an exceptional elite MC. Like, he's not normal when it comes to the wordplay, and he's just one of these guys that it's a natural talent. I don't care if Bill Collector is 60 years old and he's just walking down the street by himself. He's going to be able to just put together ill bars in a way that no other 60-year-old can. Like, this guy is an amazing rapper that I don't think people really sit there and comprehend what he's doing and the volume of it. That's what's crazy. The volume of work that he has out there. If you go into all of those battles and break down those bars, you will see that he's amazing. To me, he's doing stuff that is just as amazing as Lux, but people won't say it or give him that credit. That's it. I had to put it out there, bro. I'm gonna be waiting for y'all, but I had to put my 2 cents out there.
Listen, when you told me this, all I said to you was, "You're right, Vlad." Because honestly, like I just listed off earlier, Bill Collector being a perennial top battle rapper as of right now, I'm paying attention to what he's doing. I'm listening and I'm watching, and I'm removing the politics of the league it's on, the size of the room it's on, and the opponent that it's against. Right. And I'm just strictly focusing on what Bill Collector's doing. And when I'm listening to him, I'm like, this guy is rapping at not just the highest level, but at like one of the best levels right now in the world. Right. There's a reason why the culture as a consensus in April and May, probably even until June, all agreed Bill Collector was the #1 contender for champion of the year. We didn't forget we said that. Now, if you feel like people like JC surpassed him because obviously he won the tournament and others, that's your opinion. All I know is at one point we all had Bill Collector #1, so it was everybody else's job to catch up to what he was doing because It was that impactful, it was that good, it was that potent, it was that versatile too. You know what I'm saying? Just this run alone from this year, Mad Flex, Mac Myron, which is the Battle of the Year contender, pass. None of those opponents are easy opponents, and he's putting up highlights while they're also trying to put up highlights against them too. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, when he goes onto the small leagues battles like Kang or like Black Aladdin, and you know what I'm saying, even when he battled Jada Knight, we're going to Spaces. I judged that battle.
Right.
I'm listening to him. I'm like, hold on, man. Even when he's not in a match that's probably people would deem as serious, he's going kind of fucking crazy. Like, I love the level that Bill Collector's been on. I love the run that he's also been on as well. I have no problem with your comments, bro. You know, Bill Collector is literally one of the best in the world right now. And I wish people would just kind of remember what's going on. Don't look at it as like, oh, he just won a King of the Dot. No, this is a man that went over there a little over a year ago, and said, I'm going to go on a run. Like, he was that confident that he would go on a run. You know what I'm saying? And he damn near had a perfect score 2 battles into the season, bro. He had 299 points out of a total 300 possible. Like, that's how high of a level he was performing at.
Shout out to what's my man's name? Who jerked him for that point?
100 bullets.
100 bullets, yeah, man. Shout out to you, man. Good grief.
And you know, and plus, to be honest, I feel like we're gonna forever be linked to Bill's King of the Dot season 1 run, because we launched a website on the finals.
Facts. And not only, one thing I also forgot to add, his freestyling ability is something that we don't see Lux display also. So you're talking about this guy's got a whole other move that Lux doesn't have, you know? So I'm just throwing it out there so people can, you know, debate it, speak about it. Hopefully, maybe it opened your eyes. If you think I'm completely wrong, it's all good too. I ain't mad at you. You know, we all got opinions, but at this current moment, I mean, for the volume and for the capabilities, man, Bill Collector's been going stupid.
Yeah, I love what Bill Collector's been doing, but let's show Rum Nitty some love too on this. You know what I'm saying? Rum Nitty still.
Come on, man. Rum Nitty gets the most love ever.
Oh, look,
which is good. I'm not mad. I'm not.
Hey, listen, we could have just show Bill all the love and none the Rum.
No, that's the way you said it. It's like Rum never gets the credit.
No, I didn't say that. I said let's show Rum Nitty some love.
Right. Nah, you know.
You learning, man. You getting comfortable out here. You find a way to spin things.
Oh, that. So what you basically said is that Rum Nitty is corny and terrible and Bill Collector's the best. That's what you said? No, but you know, there are a couple things to highlight with Rum, right? Obviously, he had a battle year contender this year with A Ward. He still is number 1 in the URL app, 26-4. That is an insane record. I don't care if you feel like he won or lost those battles. To have a consensual amount of people on that app agree to him being 26-4. Who?
And consensual.
Oh,
the consensus of the people on the app. Like,
there you go. I was like consensual. I was like, that sounds a little freaky.
I'm sorry.
To have the consensuals of all the people on the apps, you know what I'm saying? No, but I feel you though. The consensus having him the number 1 guy though.
The consensus of people on the app have this guy in 30 battles, only losing 4 of them. That's nuts.
That's
crazy.
crazy.
He main event against Danny Myers earlier this year. Traffic. No, to Live and Die in LA. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, headlining again now against Bill Collector.
Yeah.
You know, had the None battle, the real name Brandon battle that he won those 2 1-rounders. Nitty's still doing his thing, but I was intrigued because, you know, we definitely seen some tweets around the time this Traffic was announced, and I almost wondered if Nitty was going to be on this card or not. You know, shout out to J Smo Reviews. He is brand new member in the media. Does really good work. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. That's the dude that was on the radio roulette.
Yeah.
Yo, that dude is an ill little analyst, man.
Yo, he reminded me of Dylan, man.
Yo, he did. Yeah, man. They definitely got similar.
That's the Dylan staff writer, graphic.
My God, Dylan is Dylan,
all
man.
above and more LTBR staff.
Dylan, you've been doing not just as of recent, but the graphics, bro. Oh man, you've been hypnotizing the people with the graphics, bro. Great job, man.
Yeah, so Smo reminds me a lot of Dylan, a young Dylan. So Smo tweeted once Traffic was announced, because it was in Arizona. He said, "Please give Rum Nitty a legend for his home game. First event back in Arizona since the duel in the desert when he battled Arsonal, 2014."
Yeah.
You know,
Teddy Grizzle.
Rum Nitty responded to that tweet though.
Oh,
and he said, "I'll pass." And then right after that, he tweeted, "I'm gonna sit out until I get the battles and bags I deserve." So maybe Bill Collector was a battle and bag that he wanted.
Hey man, the man put his foot down and the man is back. So that was the shortest turnaround I've seen in a long time. Yeah, we've had some short turnarounds in battle rap recently. Stumbles retired for like 4 weeks. Rum Nitty said, "I'll pass," and then a week later, "I'm back." So
like some guys probably don't feel the love or appreciation. They'd be like, "Yo, come on, man," and then you'll be like, "You know what? You're right. Let's appreciate you the way you're asking. Here you go. Here's this. Here's 2 more for you."
Listen, man, you got to reward the guys who the people constantly support. So no, I'm glad that he definitely chose to be on this card. So I hope that he got the bag he wanted. Hope that Bill Collector is an opponent that he feels that he is definitely hyped up to battle, because he was hyped up to battle A Ward, and we saw what type of battle that turned out to be. So I don't see why Bill Collector would get any less of an effort than he gave A Ward.
And Bill Collector's taking Nitty in Arizona.
That's what I'm saying too. And he doesn't get that many chances at home. So I know that Nitty is a guy who can battle month after month. He's done it in the past, but this one should be a little extra special. And it's going to get crazy. It's going to get crazy. This is a battle that I'm going to be locked in for. I'm going to be in a room all by myself trying to break down all the bars, man, because this is going to be one of those battles, man.
Yeah,
salute
man.
to KG the Poet also for putting this thing together. Never goes unnoticed what you're doing out there on the West Coast. Also doesn't go unnoticed, the economic advice that you also give online and on your Patreon and everything, trying to give back to the hood. It's always dropping gems. So go follow KG the Poet on Twitter, because you might make some money and learn something. So, and on top of that, he's bringing us battles that we want to see. No boo-boo stuff. So salute KG the Poet.
Salute KG the Poet, and salute Rum Nitty and Bill Collector. This is a fire battle. For the way we revere Bill Collector, you and me, Vlad, obviously we see him as an elite talent. We aren't gonna you put a Twitter poll for Rum Nitty, he's gonna always win. He's always gonna win those, right?
90-10, 85-15.
Right. And people always have this like Rum Nitty 30 or Rum Nitty so that, like his opponents never have a chance. And I'm here to tell you, Rum Nitty is standing across from somebody that is just as elite as him.
Facto. It's gonna be a good one.
All right, man. So beyond Rum Nitty's cryptic tweets,
no pun intended. That was a slick one. I like that joint, man.
We did also get some cryptic tweets and comments and spaces and quotes over the week. And
hey, look here, geek. I ain't doing no cryptic tweets.
It wouldn't be us if we didn't talk about it. You know what I'm saying? On October 10th. I was on a Twitter space, kind of talking about, wanting to do him. He really wanted to make it clear that he wanted to do his own thing. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you don't see him on the league, he's departed from the league and he wants to do his thing elsewhere and just rap and have all these battles and opponents that he probably couldn't get on URL. He wants to go pursue that. There's no love lost. I appreciate all that URL has done for me, and I'm going to do my own thing. But maybe that wasn't enough context, right? Maybe that wasn't enough context. So we made sure to get in depth with his space, you know what I'm saying? Got his whole soliloquy as to why Av is doing his thing, you know what I'm saying?
We'll continue. Like, one monkey don't stop the show. What I'm saying is, if I'm not going to be active over there, then let me just step aside. You go ahead on with your other talent. It ain't just like, we're not. I still have a battle on paper to do with URL. There's like reasons that you can't control why you're not active over there. Yeah, it is. All right, we got to
hold it down, Doc Petty. Hold it down.
Actually, answer safely, and then afterwards we can ask questions if he likes to entertain them. And it's on you. No, I'm saying it's definitely reasons. I spoke with who I needed to speak with. I know what's going on. Like the same thing I told them. Look, I'll step out the way. You know what I mean? Let me finish up what I need to finish up, and I'll move out the way. And that's just where I'm at with them. I stand.
And there you have it. Salute to Doc Petty. By the way, Doc Petty Spaces where Av gave his most detailed explanation to these reports. Some more things to talk about as far as the Av situation. But Vlad, so far, you have any thoughts before I continue?
I just want to see them get this thing worked out, man. I just want to see them get this thing worked out. But there's always comes a point in time where you have to see where your value is at. See where the company holds you. Do they think that you're something that at this current moment is worth holding on to and promoting and pushing, or is it time for you to spread your wings and see what's going on out there? Like, it's a free world. It's a free market, free to go wherever you want to go if you're not tied up into a contract. And that's the point where Av is at. No love lost. But it's a thing where he definitely will be able to show his value. And once you step outside of that, now that it's been made a public thing of, hey man, if I ain't getting what I want, then perhaps I should be able to just do my thing. And I think more so he wants to be able to just do his thing, come and go, and not have it be so political for himself, which is a challenge at times, because once you do sign this paperwork, it almost, there are some places where, hey, this is okay, and other places where it's not okay. So you have to be cognizant of everything that you're signing and be able to be down for it. But ain't nothing more than betting on yourself and saying, I'm going to take that risk and show you what I'm worth. Because guess what? If you go out there and you're successful at it, if you do decide to renegotiate with URL, your bag just went up, man. So, betting on yourself, especially with the skill level that Av has, it's that time, player. Let's see what's up.
Yes, everything you just said was on point with what he actually just said. I'm gonna read some more of his quotes here from the Doc Petty space. So to Doc Petty again. Av says, I'm not trying to leave URL to sign with another league. I don't want to be exclusive to no one. I just want to do me. I just want to rap wherever I want to rap at with no problems. These leagues and their personal issues, I don't want to be caught up in that, because none of it has got nothing to do with me. And, he just wants to rap. And he continues to say here, if this situation plays out the way I want it to play out, there are 7 situations on the table. Averb, Hollow, the Don, Big K, A Ward, Mac Myron, Rosenberg Raw, and Ilmac. I want to at least say 5 out of these 7 battles available he couldn't get on URL. Big K, A Ward, Mac, Rosenberg, and Ilmac, probably.
Right.
And Hollow Verb maybe on URL, but those are legends in this game that can move and maneuver wherever they want, whether independent ventures do their own thing, battle. Verb and Hollow can battle anywhere they want to battle.
A Lolo Abi.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at it like, you know what? When I see this list, and I know that 5 out of these 7 matches probably can't happen here, some have to happen on the Riot, GTX, RBE. Yeah, go ahead, Av, do your thing. But my problem, Vlad.
Let's go.
I wouldn't be me if I just didn't call certain things out. Now, when he says, I'm not trying to leave URL to sign with another league, I don't want to be exclusive to no one, I believe him. I believe he doesn't want to just stay on one place. I believe he wants to move around. The problem is 3 out of those matches, like Big K, A Ward, and Rosenberg, those are going to happen on RBE, right? Like, I don't see those, like, Av and A Ward, maybe GTX, but Av and Big K is going to happen in Virginia somewhere. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe these battles could all happen in different places, but 3 out of these 5 names that can't happen on URL, in my opinion, would have to happen on RBE. So if you go over there, you're probably going to sign there, right? like
this is the media thing. This is
like,
the
can we
media
just call
thing.
it what it is? Like,
well, hey, listen, bro. Okay, I'll flip it like this.
don't speculate, because I don't know where he will battle these.
No, I feel you. I flip it like this. If you're Rodney, are you doing the Birdman hand rub?
Now the only reason why I say that, and I have quotes. This is the reason why I say things. All right.
If you're Rodney,
I put pieces together, and in the words of Jay Black, if you let people talk long enough, they will tell you the story.
We got another quote.
This quote actually comes from ARP.
Oh.
ARP went on Black Compass, did an interview, and he says, we got someone performing on an up and coming RBE card. He is signed to RBE, and I think it's going to be very unexpected. Now, of course, this does not mean that it's Av, nor does Av mean that he's battle on RBE. Neither of the two mean the same thing, but they both happen the same week, so I ain't stupid.
Hey, listen. Officially, unofficially, we just gonna have to wait and see
Yeah,
what
pretty much.
happens. But if I was Rodney, for a multitude of reasons, I would be doing the Birdman hand rub and reaching out, to see if Avenue is available and would like to come on board the RBE ship. Why not? You're getting a guy who's been a mainstay over there, and we know this game, man. It's like, hey, you think he's no longer an asset at this time? I think he is an asset, and perhaps there's more of an interest now to give him even more of those plates that he felt perhaps that he wasn't getting over there, and show him that love and appreciation. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
I do want to say this, right? Like, of course, we're right now we're just having this conversation amongst ourselves as if
Mm-hmm.
we were the other side, but to make sure to get as much accurate reporting as possible here. Like, I don't feel like Av wanting to do his own thing is URL's fault, nor Av's fault. I actually blame the battlers that claim like they want to battle Av, the Verbs, the Calicos, all those people that fakely entertain battling Av and then call him mid-tier and then don't want to battle him. Like, those are people that I blame the most, because Av can't book himself. Av wants these big plates, and Av deserves these big plates. For God's sakes, he's been on multiple gnomes now, a couple Summer Madnesses under the belt. He's got it all checked off. He's got classics. He's got main events. He's got big stage battles. He's got million view battles. He's got big wins against legends. He beat the shit out of Math and Arsonal. So, like, there's no reason for people like Verb to like deny him. And so when Verb does a Twitter space like, "Hey, Av, I've never gotten a contract for you," but then Verb turns around and says, "Oh, I got a contract in my email. It's a blank name, and what we had conversations about you. Well, which one is it, Verb? Sign the contract." It's people like you that are making these battles inaccessible for Av. I don't feel like it's URL or Av's fault. And shouts to Pete. Pete went on Angry Fan and kind of got a chance to also talk about Av's departure. I'll play the clip as well, but in the clip, because I don't want to play the full 3-minute clip, I'll play a minute of it. In the clip, he says it like, it's not because of Prom 23 that Av is not here. We've tried to get Av battles, and we're currently discussing the terms of his release. But they tried to work with Av. Things just didn't work out. Let's listen to this clip from Pete.
Is my answer to the situation with Av. In order to talk about what's going on with Av, I would have to talk about his business. And we do not discuss battle rappers' business publicly. That's why it's called business. You know what I'm saying? Now, if Av wants to disclose stuff personally, that's his personal decision that he's making about his own business.
But he said that, in case you didn't realize, he's saying that y'all haven't really rocked with him since he battled on Prom 23 versus Fisher. Is that true?
No, that's not true.
That's not true. Y'all have called him to battle since then?
Several times. Av knows this, but but we're gonna
different opponents.
Stay away from that opponent. Different opponents. And to be fair, there's been some things that happened with Av that wasn't his fault that prevented him from battling. To be totally fair.
So there you have it, man. I just want to make sure, like, when Av talks about this, he also mentions that they have tried to set battles up for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to hear as details as possible from both sides. But don't worry, France will play piece together from all the interviews. I'll do that. You know what I'm saying? Just keep in mind what you guys say, tweet publicly on the internet, because it will be quoted and sourced.
Absolutely. Yeah. And even Hollow the Don says he wants to battle Av. He wants to get it cracking. And he's wondering what the holdup is also. So Av has a slew of battles that he can do out there. And Av on a world tour, I ain't mad at that.
I'm okay with it. You know what I'm saying? It's all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love URL puts on so many events a year. I love the talent is there. The stars are there. The biggest cards are there. But I have no problem with there being parody in battle rap, because I can enjoy parody without the need of people having to combine it with league politics. Like, I can love talented names like A Ward, Mac Myron, Mad Flex that aren't battling on URL, and it doesn't have to be about URL.
So many signings going on now, man. This thing is getting more and more legit. Everyone is signing over here, signing over there. Even smaller leagues now, France, are like signing up people to exclusive deals and things of that nature. It's getting very tight out there, man. People want their talents to be theirs almost exclusively, and they want to groom it. They want to be able to say, this is the person who I developed, and have their names attached to it. So we're going to see what happens, man. Further developments, because who knows? Maybe next week we turn around and we hear another France bomb. Av, announces his signing, or maybe Av doesn't, and he just goes on and battles everywhere that he wants to battle. But this is going to be an interesting turn of events because he is a dope talent, and I would like to see where he actually lands.
Hey, listen, man, we all, not all of us, right? Because some people don't follow sports and battle rap simultaneously, but majority of battle rap fans are probably following sports simultaneously. So in these sports, about, we might know their exact $1 million contract amount, how much they make it yearly. I don't want to know nobody's salary, but I've said this years ago, like when Cortez broke his deal, and we broke that news, right? About, what was it, 2.5 years ago when he signed a 5-battle deal back in 2019. So, like, I'm intrigued by hearing people's deals as far as the length of the deal or the amount of battles on the deal, because it lets me know how committed somebody is. And it really puts a lot of interesting, nuanced conversations when you're seeing how their battles and performances are going. Oh, it's the last battle of the deal. What are they looking to do on this one? Or they're about to re-up? Or
it's a contract battle.
You know what I'm saying? Like, these are it creates good dialogue. It creates healthy dialogue if people allow it to be healthy. You know what I'm saying? You don't get too invasive, but it also makes for this is where it separates the media. All right, this is where you get the people that are going to accurately report things, get things from direct sources, talk to the artist, as opposed to those who are going to speculate, jump in front of the camera and talk without any information.
Oh snap, friends!
And I'm here to separate myself from the curve.
Hello.
All right. So salute to Av, though. Looking forward to Av and his future ventures. We'll see what's going on. He did say, and we hear it in his quote or in his clip with Doc Petty, that he still has one battle left over there. So we'll see how the terms of release goes. And if next year, 2023, you see Av battling Mac Myron on the ride and A-Ward on GTX and so elsewhere, enjoy it for what it is.
Or it could be just like Rum. And 1 week later, he could be announcing that he's got another battle on URL coming up. So we'll see how this
he has one more
out.
left. He said it. He has one left.
I'm talking about after that one. Okay. He gonna be like, hey, look here, fella. I cook way better. You won't give me way less, shut up. I ain't coming back here. Hey now, never.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of contract talk today. We talked about, obviously, the force, people that sign and Av situation. But, aside from all the contract updates that we got over the week, we also got announcements of events, which is always good.
Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? Salute to Queen of the Ring. They dropped their entire prom night card. Their prom night card will be going down October 29th. So we'll make sure to give a more in-depth detail analysis and thoughts on the card. But headlining, Shuni the Rapper Fettuccine 20 versus Lady Caution and Tay-Rock. Co-main event, Jakkboy Main, First Lady Flame versus Farrah Funeral and Swamp. Then we got a couple other one-round battles, one-on-one battles, 40 Bar versus Fonz, Tory Doe versus New Jersey Twerk, and Don Lady versus Lou Castro. Prom night.
Go. Yeah, man. Also, Babs Bunny announcing that this is a whole ass prom that they're trying to do, France. You got to show up. Can't wear jeans. She's gonna let you get away with wearing sneakers if you want to, wear your fancy sneakers with your suit and all that. Or maybe you just got bad feet and you need to wear your orthopedics. You know what I'm saying? It's still a battle rap event. Who knows? But when you do get there, you will also get a free low vibrational food plate. You know what I'm saying? that you can eat. And then there will be dancing and a DJ. So she's saying like, yo, man, it is a battle rap event, but then there's also a party and low vibrational plates being served there also when you get there. So get there early, man, because you don't want to get the scraps, player. You want that good grub, man.
I'm have to tweet that one out, man. I'm looking for my low vibrational plate at Queen of the Ring. More announcements.
Listen, friend, you gotta be careful, man. That might get misinterpreted and all that. And next thing you know, they're gonna academics your ass, man.
You're right. I'll let Titus take care of it. He'll be fine.
Leave that alone, bro.
More announcements. We also got going down October 30th in DMV for Washington, Maryland. We got the finals exam card, which is essentially a rookies versus vets card for the season 2 Crucibles. Headlining the card is Chess versus Flair Soul. We also got Loso versus Klutz, Qleen Paper versus Ease, Lou Castro versus Foots, Steams versus Hansel, and Chef Trez making his return to URL. Qleen Paper as well. Qleen Paper and Chef Trez both making a return on this card. Chef Trez will be battling All Fennec. We got our staff writer, Q, LTBR staff writer. We'll be working on an extensive guide and maybe even a possible tier list for the guys from Crucible season 2. You know what I'm saying? So you guys to get a little bit more in depth. I know you might be unfamiliar with some of these names, but we'll get you familiar. Don't you worry.
Don't you worry about a thing. France, this is rookies versus mid-tiers. You know what I mean? And no, that's no disrespect at all. That's no disrespect at all.
I'm glad. I love how you caught it yourself. You said, "Hold on, listeners. I know what you're saying." Oh,
I know it's yo, we say, yo. No, listen, we do know that
it's not mid-tier though. The rest of them are, right?
Yeah, Chess is not a mid-tier. Chess is a top tier. But
I hear you.
I mean, listen, top tiers they talk about, let me do a makeup battle because I couldn't hold my lunch together on the stage. You know what I mean? So let me prove to y'all that I can, you know, when it's not Summer Madness.
Yeah.
But anywho, all of these guys have, you know, top tier talent and ability, but it's also another level of being able to pack out a house and your name is the reason why the place is, you know, sold out and you're finishing last. And, you know, so there is a different level, but I still say this, if these guys think that they're going to come in here and just wash these guys, like these guys are still amazing talents, you know what I'm saying? And they still have the experience that a lot of these people don't have. So even though you might hear me calling them mid-tier for now, because things could always change and, you know, you could be top tier in a year from now, you know, things don't stay the same. So I want everyone to take that and understand that. But but the amount of experience that these guys have and the stages that they've been on and the opponents that they face, it's way different than where these Crucible guys are at. So it's still not going to be an easy task. Now we know when you got the Charlie Clipses of the world and the Arsenals and the Shotgun Shugs and, you know, and they're battling rookies, that's another level where we saw guys like T-Top who we thought were instantly ready for that big stage. And we saw what Shotgun Shug did. You know what I mean? We saw, you know, Briz have a difficult time with an A-verb that wasn't the A-verb that we have known and loved over the years. And that still looked difficult for him. So I'm saying that it's not going to be, if these guys think, oh, I'm getting these names, it's going to be a walk in the park. No. All right. And it's also on their home league where it's going to count. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a tough one. And it's going to be interesting because it's a big step up, man, from the Crucible to these names.
You hit it on the nail. You hit it on the nail, man. I'm looking forward to these battles. Like I'm looking forward to also creating this guide so everybody can get a little bit more familiar with some of these battlers. I know a lot of people are familiar with Flair because it was just on Summer Madness.
Right.
This battle is happening in Martinis, you know, the Martinis venue that has been hosting a lot of battle events for the last handful of years now. So a couple names they're familiar with, people like Klutz and Foots. They've been there a few times. Hansel, who we just seen on the stream on the Riot card, was also featured on this card, so people are getting hip to Hansel as well. I'm not gonna lie to you, Vlad. I think as a whole, we're gonna deep dive this again in the next week's pod. I just want to say this: anytime prospects and battle rap or people that are building their profile can be streamed, that will significantly boost the chances of them reaching a higher audience, a bigger fan base, and a bigger demand to be seen again.
Oh, absolutely. Just think about when Geechi battled Saint and that was streamed live. Yeah, everyone was tuning in to see the main event from that evening, but guess what? We all tuned in early and we were like, what the hell? Who's
this?
What did this guy? What's happening right now? Guess what? If that battle just drops on KOTD and it's like, hey man, here's a battle from this bunker event, who knows how many people are tuning in at that time, and who knows, Geechi is Geechi. He was gonna get where he was gonna get in battle rap no matter what. But the journey may have taken a longer time, perhaps, may have taken a different route. But I know for a fact on that night when it happened, everyone was like, what the hell? Who is this guy? I want to see more of him battling. So, yeah, live stream would definitely help, garner more interest for these guys who, a lot of people don't know, because, Crucible's still coming up. People are still getting in tune with it. People are still coming on board and really figuring out, oh, okay, this is a whole season long thing. This is something that I can follow, but, it's still gaining its legs. So to help it gain even more legs, never skip leg day. Get no live stream. Let's make it happen, Captain.
You hit it right on the nail, man. We'll definitely get more in depth with final exam real soon. And I'm gonna see if I can make a Twitter Spaces with all the final exam Crucible MCs, so people can also get familiar with them. You know what I mean? We can all do some networking. This is what media is made for, right? To empower these new people, not to downplay them. Like, I've always hated when I've heard like media people like talk to these guys with their labels, like, oh, you're a Crucible. And it's like, bruh, like, just because you may have a bigger following or profile than this guy, like, doesn't mean that they're not an artist still. Like, they're an artist. Respect the art. They're the ones that's talented. You're the ones that's reporting on them. Use your platforms to put a light on these guys. You know what I'm saying? And be productive with it, as opposed to downplaying them because nobody knows them and putting negative smut around their name before they even get a chance to really prove to you that they're actually really good. You know what I'm saying? And maybe if some of you guys ignore the drama the way you choose to ignore these up and comers, you'd be in a better place.
Oh, all right. Hey, listen, man.
2 for 2.
You said everything I needed to. I ain't got nothing to follow up for that one, brother.
All right. Less was said.
I ain't got no follow-up, player.
Say less and less was said.
Oh,
all right,
hello.
We did get a big announcement the exact same day. I'm not going to front you over. I kind of wish you would have gave it a day. Let the final exam guys enjoy their announcement. You know what I'm saying? You had to drop 2 bombs back to back. I know the timeline was like, oh, who are these guys? Why is Trez headlining? Yeah, let that happen. That's okay. That's part of the engagement. Give it a day. You know what I'm saying? But 2 hours later, after finals exam was announced, we get the announcement of the homecoming card. Murda Mook and Geechi Gotti is taking place in Urban Plaza. Vlad, we speculated correctly. Looks like we were right on that speculation. Wink, wink. We'll talk about Murda Mook and Geechi with the New York wrinkle in a second. We'll talk about that last, actually. So we got Stumbles versus Kid Slade on this card. Supposed to be on Summer Madness, and now they're on homecoming. So my life, not yours, all right? Plug.
Where's the mommy?
We got Arsonal versus Swamp.
I'm a good guy.
K-Shaw versus Jakkboy.
My babies.
And Jazz the Rapper versus Viixen the Assassin.
I'm a good dude, friends. Huh? Yo, good card.
Very good card.
Well-rounded card. Kid Slade versus Stumbles. First of all, friends, I'm going to go on a slight tangent here. Stumbles, you have had the come up of all come ups, my brother. I've never seen someone change their narrative so quickly in battle rap after being around for a few years, mind you, friends. And then, getting into a physical altercation with another battle rapper. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe it's over for this guy. And then next thing you know, bam, Stumbles versus Snake Eyes, headlining URL, right? I'm like, all right. And ever since that situation, the altercation, this guy has taken advantage of all the opportunities, of all the media light that's been thrusted upon him, and has actually been delivering. Truth be told, if he doesn't choke against, if was a fifth, whatever, but I'll put it this way, his material versus Real Sick was A1. So we saw the potential there. And then after that, you come back and battle the guy who you got in the altercation with. I'm talking, and you got like damn near 100,000 views on the face-offs alone and everything. And you're the last battle of a long night. People stayed and you delivered and you made a moment also. And last thing, shout outs to Tsu Surf. We're not trying to revisit anything for any negative reasons, but I want to point out how promotion and marketing is made when you're not battling. The fact that he was going back and forth with Tsu Surf over and over again with the belt and Midnight Madness and then the spaces and then, oh, nah, Stumbles can't be on the card. All this time, your name is now synonymous with the number one guy who was running the league at that point. And guess what? Those people from a year ago that didn't know Stumbles is just going, who's Surface arguing with who? Like, what is going on here? So his name, his value, even him deciding like, nah, I'm gonna retire. Now you got this whole retirement thing. Got people talking about that.
Right.
I don't even know if Stumbles knew that he was marketing himself by doing all this stuff. I think he was just living his life, not mine. But at the same time, it was just all genius guerrilla marketing, tactics, and it's worked. And on top of that, the best thing is that he's delivering. So, are we giving our predictions with these, or are we just kind of talking about the card and moving on? We waiting till next week, or we going in?
How you feeling about it? You want to?
I mean, we could do quick little like Jones, and then
we could
double
do that.
back.
We could do that.
Huh?
But I rather much like predictions, but definitely want to talk about the matches. Stumbles,
all right, so let's go to the matches. We save it for next week.
Say less. Stumbles, right?
But I just wanted to salute Stumbles on the come up and the guerrilla marketing. And on top of that, I mean, going through losing his dad, going through real life stuff, and still, giving us A1 material and really stepping into the forefront as a guy that people want to see now. You know what I mean? He's delivering. So salute to Stumbles. I just wanted to say all that before we move on.
Stumbles is now 4-4 on the URL app. You know what I'm saying? He's at plus 500. He definitely changed his entire narrative this year. I'm not going to lie to you, right? When you saw the real sick battle, the projections, obviously we took the parlays. We saw all the money.
I thought he was going to get killed.
Yeah, nobody gave him a chance, all right? He was one of the biggest underdogs of that weekend. Up until that point, there was no logical reason to say why Stumbles could beat Real Sick. You hadn't seen a Stumbles that was better than the best Real Sick. He's coming off of being the top 10 battle rapper, like all that. But although I do feel like that performance did get a little overvalued because everybody fell in love with the material so much and wanted him to be clean. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to lose sight of what Real Sick did, but
my babies.
Stumbles showed a lot of flashes in that battle. You hear me?
He did
so much flashes. To the point where there's, like you said, Vlad, let's call it what it is. There's people out there in the world that really feel like, man, he was clean. I don't know. And the judges almost alluded to it. Calico wanted to pick Stumbles so bad. Like,
my body was hurting when I got off the stage. My bones was shivering. I did God.
Listen, man, I think, let me see, just to confirm this, right? I think Stumbles even has more reactions than Real Sick on the app in that battle. So people really wanted him to succeed there. The Snake Eyes battle, beyond the fact that's a main event battle that led to a peaceful outcome. Those guys had an altercation and they decided to patch things, put things aside, get a bag together. The bag was obtained cleanly, no violence. So that's how you want to end things in hip hop. But bigger scale, that battle was a judge battle with a belt on the line. And not only did he win, he kind of dominated Snake Eyes as an underdog. Like, that was like a career-defining moment. Like, that's when you talk about Stumbles' career, that's an official checkpoint of his career 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now. You hear me? Then he headlines the following battle against Shotgun Suge, which everybody wanted to call it a 30 for Suge. I thought Suge won. It wasn't no 30. Stumbles did way better than y'all told me he did. You know what I'm saying? Y'all lied about that event too. So Stumbles has been
listen, I gave Suge every round, but Stumbles was good.
Stumbles was very good.
Suge was just better. That was it.
Hey, I can live with that. The point is, Stumbles is good. Stumbles is showing He can be consistently good, and I think
And
he
he
has
can be clean. And he can be clean, friends. What was the biggest worry before that? Can he get through 3 rounds? Well, he's shown us 3,
Well, there
last
was
couple
there was
times.
2 worries. We didn't know if he was good, and we didn't know if he could get to 3 rounds. Let's call it for what it is. We didn't know he had this much talent.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying? He might have shown it in some spurts, but like I didn't know Stumbles could be this.
Can I keep it funky with you?
Yeah.
I didn't watch a Stumbles battle before the tournament. You know what I'm
I
saying?
definitely saw him versus Easy, and that was really good. But Easy stood the course of staying consistent. He didn't.
Yeah, no, yeah. I never watched a Stumbles battle before the tournament, so I was totally yeah. And then the first tournament, I was like, huh? What
He
is
didn't put on
this?
any professor. He didn't put on any like real impressive performances during UM4.
He didn't drop any lines that made me go, oh, okay, I see the potential. All right, maybe he's choking, but I see that he can be dope. It was nothing of that nature.
The real sick battle was like the pivotal point of like everything changing. And then
I couldn't believe this was the same dude. Because of the tournament, I didn't want to go and look up any of his past battles. Why would I? I just saw what he did there. He just pissed the bed. You know what I'm saying? But man, when he came back versus Real Sick, I was like, hold up, this is the same dude that was calling his moms last year. Like, this is not the same guy. Like last year, like what was that? Like 3 months before?
I know.
I was like, this ain't the same dude.
Look, we have the LTBR Most Improved Battle Rapper Award that we do at the end of the year. $1,000 that goes to who let the people decide. We let the people decide who they consider to be the most improved. I just want to say this. I know there's been a lot of drugs, a lot of trufo in that conversation from what they did earlier in the year. Put Stumble's name in that conversation as well, okay? Because Free Tsu Surf again. If Surf and Stumbles did not have the discrepancy they did, we might have seen Stumbles on Summer Madness. It could have been a Stumble Madness, all right? It could have been a Stumble Madness, and now he's going to be on Irving Plaza. And if he can get through it cleanly, I think there's a real chance he can rock that room, man.
That's that next level, dog. Like that is, this is not only a big stage, in New York. This is basically URL's home. After Webster Hall said, hey, man, we're going to evict y'all, Irving Plaza opened up their doors, and this was URL's home. Summer Madness, Gnomes, this is where it was happening at. So I hope that Stumbles and Slade understand the task that's at hand here and not get overwhelmed by the moment, because it's one thing when you're watching it or you're there or maybe you're on stage watching someone else battle, but when it's time for you to stand in front of those 1,300 people and you hear the roar of that crowd when you drop that first haymaker or they're saying their slogan with you, like you better not lose your breath and forget your train of thought. Like it's a real thing, you know what I mean? But this is that next level, man. And if Stumbles conquers this level, dog,
there is a chance for
forget about it.
There's a world where Slade and Stumbles will both walk out that building extremely victorious. I want to salute Kid Slade for the year he's also having. Man,
I'm glad you're bigging him up because I've been bigging up Stumbles crazy. But
I'm gonna do that thing. I'm gonna let you set it off, and I'm gonna make sure we give love to the other person too, because you know what I'm saying, it's in a biased platform. You know what I'm saying? No, but Kid Slade's run this year between real name Brandon, the headline, that was a good battle. The Bad News battle, the Big T battle, and the Rider battle. He went on a 4-battle winning streak. Obviously, he got eliminated from UM4, but he won on the drop or the app, and he did win the fan vote. So that lets you know that he has a huge backing by the people. He's currently 8-0, one of the 7 guys undefeated on the app. I'm not gonna front. I feel like his 8-0 doesn't fully define a powerful schedule. If I'm going to be honest, that's where like the numbers can
listen, France. When you think 8-0, you think dominant. You know what I'm saying? You think
listen, when you think 8-0,
you think this guy can't be stopped. And I'm like, this guy can't be stopped.
Listen, only people that have better records than 8-0 is Clips and Easy. So you're like 8-0, you're close to 9-0, you're close to 11-0. But
this guy's as good as JC. This guy's as good as Clips.
Yeah, like his run is nothing like those two. Those are good wins. I don't want to say they're empty calorie wins and nothing like that, but it's just when you look at it, you just keep in mind this 8-0 is the toughest schedule in my opinion. All right.
No, I feel you, man. I feel you. And we will get more into detail of, you know, our thoughts on the battles next week. You know what I mean? So this is just a little taste. So let's move on to the next battle player.
Salute to Slade and the run he had this year. Definitely doing his thing. I think he definitely could end up in a lot of top 20 battle rapper votes for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Arsonal and Swamp, you know what I'm saying? Vlad, I want to address a couple narratives before we get started on this battle.
Oh, let's go.
All right, first, I've been seeing a lot of people in media complain like, oh, there's only 3 New York MCs on this card. Guys, take it easy. Summer Madness 6, the last Urban Plaza event, there was only 3 New York MCs on that card too, until Cortez and Twerk were a surprise battle last minute, all right? Battle rap has extremely been diverse for years now, where you're having tons of talent from all over, the DMV, you know what I'm saying, the South, the Carolinas, California, the Midwest. They're coming from all over now. You know what I'm saying? New York has not been the most dominant in talent in a long time, but we're back home. And more importantly, you have names like Mook on the card. You have names like Shine and Jazz on the card. That's perfectly fine.
Listen, man, and to the complainers out there that just want to be complaining where the complainers is at, homecoming means URL's coming back to New York, all right? Means it's coming back to Urban Plaza. It doesn't mean that this is, oh, let's throw a big old card for all the MCs from New York. And guess what? If they put together a card with 6 rappers from New York, why they gotta have all them New York rappers on there for, people?
All right, that's
come on,
man.
I
see how y'all do it. Y'all find a way to complain about it all, and I'm not allowing it. This card is for me. You know
what about Rum Nitty? Can we get Rum Nitty on the card? You know, it would have been something like that, man. Like it would have been whatever.
Listen, man. Listen. Salute to all the markets. Salute to Houston, California, the Carolinas, DMV. You know what I'm saying? Where else have you all been? New Orleans, Seattle. Salute to all the markets. Ain't nothing like New York, man.
Dirty hot dog water, baby.
Ain't nothing like the city, man. This is big business. This is where legacies are made. These are where it really counts the most. I'm not saying it doesn't count nowhere else, but like here, it's like engraved into like
France cut the crap, man. This is the Mecca, all right. This is where it means the most at. This is where all the rappers in the world used to dream they can come and snatch their props from. Okay, Danny Myers moved to New York with no money and slept on the subway for 2 years so he can battle in Times Square, all right, because he wanted to battle and survive in New York, all right? So what does that tell you? If the GOAT can come out here just to battle and
the problem is we got a lot of people from the South that are going to be like, oh, these 2 New Yorkers are so excited. You know, you're right, we are. You're damn right. We haven't been here in 5 years.
Look, when them dudes is getting all them events.
Respect to Amazon, respectfully, that ain't Urban Plaza.
Yeah, that's oh man, Amazon. Shout out to that place, but no, man, this is gonna be an amazing electric feeling. And on top of that, they got the New York logo battling as the headliner. So what else could be more appropriate than that? But
now
Swamp,
for Arsonal and Swamp.
And Arsonal.
Yes, Arsonal, Swamp, Arsonal. Not for that. 2 things, more narratives I want to dispel, right? One, there's people saying, I want to see if Swamp could do what he's been doing in New York. And I get it. He's been in the South and Atlanta and Carolina, so you feel like he's kind of comfort close to home. But, bro, what he did against JC and Tay-Rock is translatable anywhere, Vlad. You understand that? Like,
absolutely.
The man arguably beat JC if he didn't choke. You know what I'm saying? Arguably, some people say. And at the very least, he has more reactions to JC on the app. So guess what? He could have won that battle. And then not only does he match intensity with Tay-Rock, he goes into another level to the point where he also arguably is winning that battle too. When Swamp says, you got to go, let the Glock explode, pull up, stop and go, backwoods, fronto, optimo, Mercury tips, top explode, spin the block, drums, hitting licks with guitars, rock and roll, that's going to hit anywhere in the world.
Fire bars. Yeah, and also I think that he's proven himself. He's shown you, hey man, these are 2 big stages that I've rocked back to back, and I think he figured out the material that works for it. He found a formula. He found a groove, and on top of that, he's realized, hey man, this is a lot more than just lingo. This is about having haymakers. And this is also about having them punches. And I felt like he's been incorporating more of those, into his round. So He's ready. He's ready. I don't think this is a thing of will New York accept him. We know bars. And on top of that, people, who do you think is showing up to these battles? People that watch battle rap, people that watch URL. If you've been watching URL, you've been seeing a whole lot of Swamp the past few months. So you should already be in tune and know what to expect. I don't think, it would be one thing if he was fresh out the crucible and they put him up there like Saflair and Z the
If
Dropout.
this was his second battle,
But come on,
like
man, this guy's been out there.
if I didn't see the Tay Rock battle and I only saw the JC battle, I would understand it a little bit more. Or if neither of the two battles existed and this is his first time on the stage, I would understand the skepticism. But I don't feel like the geographic of where he battled matters when you are matching the intensity of somebody like JC and Tay Rock. Two guys that are top 10 on the app, and respectfully, they have been more productive and better battle rappers than Arsonal the last couple of years. Like, we know Arsenal's an all-time great, and Arsonal loves to take some of these up-and-coming guys when they're like Twerk and Geechi had great performances against them. Jerry, good one against Jerry, but then he takes guys like Castro and Drugs, and those are decent. They're all right. Loso battle. There's more battles in between that he's kind of giving shots and is not always as consistent. And forgive me for I can't recall that a time where like Arsenal just rocked Irving Plaza to the next level. Him and Suge was good, but Arsenal and Briz on Irving Plaza, go watch that. That's a eulogy.
Right. And the thing about Swamp too is that he's been rocking the big crowds. So it's not like you have to go and say, oh, bar for bar, I got him winning. Or, if you really break it down and listen. No, he's been rocking the big stage. He's been rocking those crowds. And guess what, man? That's what is most important when you get into a room like Irving Plaza. You can have the bars all day long, but if you ain't making that crowd go crazy, what's the incentive for a URL to say, hey, let's sign this guy to bring him back? This is all a part of the game. This is all a part of mastering it and becoming that well-rounded MC that can take on any challenge. So salute to Swamp for breaking through that barrier, man, and having a breakthrough year and being able to tackle that big stage. So
not just a breakthrough year, but like we said a couple weeks ago, this is potential champion of the year run for him.
It's got a very strong run. Very strong run.
Also Arsenal had like some more battles in between there, right? The chess battle where he gave, I don't want to say chess a shot, but like, everybody at this point of the game status-wise is below Arsenal because Arsenal is just that high of a profile. He's one of the greatest and second highest viewed battle rapper in America. So he's always looking at new talent and giving them shots or battles. Chess battle is a good battle. The Real Sick battle is a decent battle. The Av battle, equivalent to the Briz battle. So it's not like there is a consistent flow of him always being good in this position, neither. He has the Geechi and Twerk battle, but for every good one, there's almost one that's subpar net to match it.
I feel like at this point in Arsenal's career, it's at a point now where he's like, hey, I'm showing up so that you can prove what you can do. All right. I'm going to have my 3 rounds. People know me. They know my slogans. They know what I'm going to bring. I'm a legend. You're not changing my status at all by this. This is time for you to prove that, you can come up here and bang with a legend, bang with a Mount Rushmore cat. Arsenal's been on cruise control, man, as of late. I mean, it's still, decent performances, clean performances. You still see, that he's definitely putting in the effort, not just winging it and just coming up there freestyling and just taking money, but at the same time, this isn't the Arsenal of yesteryear, and I think, once you reach this status, sometimes guys just conserve that energy for a match that either is a legacy match, which for Arsenal at this point, who in the world could be a legacy match for him, or someone who they've been chasing forever. And at this point, Arsenal ain't chasing nobody. So he's going to show up, be a professional, and let you get your highlights if you want to. So why not take full advantage of it?
And nonetheless, you still have to compete. Like, just because he's been a bit inconsistent.
Oh, you can still lose for sure. Like you can still get embarrassed. You know what I mean?
Like, make no mistake, him beating DNA on light work stopped the 4-battle losing streak. He lost a 5-battle losing streak. I think he lost to Danny, Castro, Loso, Real Sick. So 4 battles there. He lost in a row, and he snapped the streak with the DNA battle, but he's still 8-7 on the URL app. Like, he's above 500, so he's a coin flip in these situations. All I'm saying is he can be very fucking good or the opposite direction.
Yes, sir. Next battle, friends.
Vlad, is it possible that one battle on the card could be enough to give me like a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10? Because that's what Jazz and Viixen the Assassin give me. Like, that is enough to get my coins, to get me out my seat, to pull up to Urban Plaza as a fan, to get myself to turn on my caffeine channel at 3 o'clock on a Sunday. All right, this is it. Inject this battle into my veins.
Yes, sir. Get the popcorn, man. Get the extra butter for this one. Get that McDonald's Sprite. This one's gonna be a movie.
What do you think? I'll let you set it off, Brooklyn.
Oh man, yes, Brooklyn for sure. Jazz the Rapper, Viixen the Assassin. This is a battle that, Jazz has wanted herself. She's called Viixen out. She said, I want to battle you, man. Viixen was playing the sly fox and saying, whoa, Wilbur, like, hold on there. Let me get a couple other battles under my belt and then I'll battle you. And then lo and behold, URL comes back to New York and they announced this battle. I was not expecting to hear this battle get announced, but I was definitely more than pleasantly surprised. And man, we got a battle of pens, we got a battle of wits, and we got the big mama drama that Viixen brings to that stage also. But France, man, the place where I want to see where this battle takes a turn is energy wise. Who can maintain the higher energy for 3 rounds, man? Because we know these big stage battles can be grueling, friends, and they can deplete you of your energy very quickly, and you got to survive for all 3. So I know both of them got bars, I know both of them got wit, I know both of them got haymakers, as we've seen, but I want to see who's going to be able to keep that energy going all 3 rounds, man.
Listen, man, Viixen the Assassin and Jazz the Rapper last touched the stage together on Kings and Queens 3 back in April. And on that night, I would honestly say, without question, Viixen had the better performance that night.
Oh, absolutely, man. Versus a Tay-Rock who was on fire.
Did she win her battle? It's arguable. The Jazz win her battle is also arguable, right? So I feel like as far as win-loss, you got to remove that from the conversation. Here's a look at the nuance of performance, right? I look at Jazz's performance against Gaddis, and man, that was like that was honestly, you could have copy paste anybody's name in front of Gaddis.
She was manhandling her. Can we keep it real?
She was gonna do that goddamn thing, right?
She was manhandling her.
That's like her career high, right? Or at least the highest we can remember it as of lately. And I feel like that's been a threshold people have been holding Jazz to, because I feel like with the Gotti battle, it was a good battle. Viixen and Jazz are kind of close in reactions on the battle on the app. I think like Viixen has like 99,000 and Jazz might have like 96,000. But I don't know, like it wasn't nothing like the Gaddis battle. Her 2-2-on-2s where Luke Castle was really good, and then with Official versus Shuni and Farah, it was.
But you do got to realize it was the very next day.
Listen. They're both great performances. Let me make sure I get that out the way. They're both great performances. I just like the Castro one a little bit better.
Okay, fair.
It's a one rounder, easier chance to be more fluid. That you have to travel the next day, be on stage, and whatever. Regardless, the ladies put on the top 10 battle of the year. I don't want to sound like I'm downplaying the battle. I just feel like those 2-2-on-2s, you got to kind of also separate them a little bit. Jazz is active, so I'm happy that she's active, but you don't got a partner up there when you're battling Viixen one-on-one. And I had you losing Shuni and Farah, but it doesn't matter. It's a 2-on-2. I'm just gonna look at what they did on Kings and Queens as a whole. Viixen outperformed the Kings and Queens, man.
Yo, Viixen was so crazy versus Tay-Rock, and I go back to the energy factor, and I just watched her go all over that stage, bumping that man, being in his face, like not backing down and delivering the haymakers and the bombs and not getting lost in the moment, because you look at that battle and then you look on where everything seemingly went right, and then you look at her battle versus Miss Hustle, where that was just a difficult night for everybody. Technical difficulties, the venue that they were at, everything surrounding it, and they still had to perform. Now, was this the same type of performance that you got versus Tay-Rock? No, because like I said, everything that was going on surrounding the battle, but she didn't let up. She still performed like, hey, man, this is Summer Madness or something like that, and I'm going to give y'all 100%. And that's the conviction and commitment to material and energy that, Viixen brings. So I'm just looking forward to seeing her go super sane and going crazy on that stage. And Jazz knowing that she's back in New York and knowing that versus official, wasn't to her favor. And then versus Miss Hustle on video, at least, it looked a certain kind of way. You know what I'm saying? You got these women barking on her and making Jazz look like she's a little less than the Jazz that we've been known to see. So I'm like, does that continue, in this venue?
Well, I'm petty. Miss Hustle has us blocked, so I want to go ahead and say she choked in the building and it was edited, the footage. But Farrah actually adds on to the sample size that you're saying, though. You know what I'm saying? Like how Hustle official made Jazz look on the stage, or like when they were rapping towards Jazz, how it felt. Farrah also can be a participant in that sample size too, Vlad.
Yeah.
And that's what's like has me like, whoa, hold up. If Farrah's doing this to
that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, what's gonna happen when Viixen does this?
And look, your point to Viixen and Hustle battle, like it was a bit underwhelming because of the environment, the settings, and the attention, and engagement. The people were not providing that battle that I felt like it deserved material wise, but beyond the material, the commitment. You said it. You said it yourself. Like, you are committed to bringing that level of energy and performance and entertainment to your material and to your rounds when you rap. Viixen does that.
Dog, you know how difficult it is to still try to give a 100% maximum effort performance in a room that's just dead? Like, you gotta be fully committed to say, you know what? I'm going to utilize this as a practice for the next time when I am on a stage and everyone is reacting to me and going crazy and visualizing that on the stage and saying, I'm not going to waste this performance and, go half-ass. I'm going to give this 100% performance, because when I am on that stage next time and people are cheering like they're supposed to be and everything is landing how it's supposed to be, this is just going to be another walk in the park.
That was a Viixen without the room providing her momentum. Imagine in an Irving Plaza where it's three, 4 times the size.
Forget about it.
Of people in attendance, and you're getting that momentum. And you also have an opponent that's giving you that momentum as well. You know what I'm saying? So like she has a chance to really put on a special performance versus Jazz. Everybody probably anticipates it to be battle of the night. And the last time they were both on the same card together, Viixen had battle of the night over Jazz. You know what I'm saying? My man Jay Black robbed Viixen of her champion cover. He never dropped that. I want to go ahead and shout that out.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, because that's easily a Tay-Rock and Viixen cover. I just want to put that out there. You know what I'm saying? He took away some bragging rights from Viixen ahead of time, but leave it alone.
Yeah, no, man. This is, and they get a chance to, go on a little earlier in the night, probably, most likely, but who knows? And you get them fresh ears, man. And whenever there's that one, woman's battle on the card, everyone's a little hyped up. They want to see what the ladies got. So they got a perfect opportunity to shine. People always been asking, can we get at least one women's battle on every card? Well, you got it now. All right. So let's show up and enjoy this thing.
Yeah, man. At the end of the day, Jazz is still methodical. Jazz is very strategic. Jazz is very dangerous.
Methodical. I like what you did there.
and Jazz is still home, even though official came on the road and had the moment of the battle and all that. But Jazz is still back home, and so
pop your gun. You scared to pop your cherry.
New York has not gotten a Jazz the Rapper performance since 2017. So
damn.
You know what I'm saying? They're happy. They're very, very happy to see her. I'm happy that Jazz is active, battling a former Wody, 2 ladies that are probably easily going to rank within the top 5 or 10 of Wody. You know what I'm saying? So this is a clash, man. This is a legacy-defining moment for Viixen, and this is a big, big battle for Jazz as well.
Main event battle, yo.
They're only under Geechi Gotti and Murda Mook.
Can we talk about that? Talk about the ladies making strides, dog. Like they're not on the bottom of this flyer.
No. If Geechi and Mook is not on this card, they're probably the main event.
Oh, oh man. The fellas on that card would have been like,
Murda Mook has to rap after Viixen?
What's that mean? Why you saying damn?
Damn. I'll leave that. I'll leave that there. I'll come back. So we still got one more battle though. K-Shine versus Jakkboy.
Mm-hmm.
Going down on this card. And
what do you think about this battle?
It's time to have a conversation, Vlad.
I'm here. I'm all ears, player.
All right. Well, first tell me what you think, and I'm going to pull up some notes that I have here.
I mean, this battle's long overdue. Jakkboy's been asking for this. K-Shine has been telling Jakkboy, you need to step your game up. I need to see you, drop a couple that impressed me, and then I'll battle you. And then next thing you know, URL's like, hey, we're back in New York. You want this battle? Yeah, sure, I'll take it.
I'm glad you got there. That's exactly what I wanted to get to.
I'm like, what happened, Bobby? What happened?
That's what I was looking for, right? I wanted to pull up these quotes from 15 Minutes of Fame when K-Shine was cryptically talking about Jakkboy. In fact, he never even said his name, so we gotta make sure we get that out there, right? When Shine said all this, he didn't say who the name was, but everybody kind of attached subliminals because they knew who it was for. And Uncle Ra has no problem putting somebody in the title if their name wasn't said, you know what I'm saying? So he said those things about Jakkboy, like he wants to see some more performances from him, you know what I'm saying? And from that quote to now, nothing has changed, and now he's taking Jakkboy. And Jakkboy says himself, Vlad, listen, I got it from 3 Letter Man.
Let's go.
Jakkboy was talking to my man 3 Letter Man, and he says, quote, these ninjas trying to line me up. I asked for this Ninja K-Shine on 2 different cards, and y'all wait till it's New York. I ain't dumb.
Yo, man, this is the second time they've been making these accusations against K-Shine, man, saying that he's lining these dudes up, not letting their opponents know, and then having URL make that phone call with a couple weeks away from the event and saying, hey man, the guy you've been wanting to battle, that legend, yeah, he's up for it. You want to do it? Knowing that the other guys will probably say yes. And in speculations that Shine's had he knows who he wants to battle. You know what I'm saying? He knows. So is he using extra time to write? Is he lining these guys up, man? We'll never know 100%. But it's a little fishy though.
Listen, Shine is an all-time great, 5th highest viewed ranked battle rapper in the world. You know what I'm saying? A perennial battle rapper too. Always makes these lists. Is one of the best, one of the greatest of all time. He's in a position to have full control of his career, right? When he wants to book a battle, he's the one that says yes. All right. He's the one that makes situations happen. He's the one that picks his opponents. Everything is contingent on his decision, his discretion. And guess what? He's earned that because that's who he is in this culture. But when Shine does this, it kind of feels like Art of War, Vlad. And I want to quote Art of War: let your plans be dark and impenetrable as the night, and when you move, fall like a thunderbolt. You know what I'm saying? The Art of War, man. The Art of War. K-Shine moves very militant, very, very, very strategic, and puts himself in the highest percentage of possibilities to secure the outcome that he wants to secure. And I ain't mad at the brother. And personally, I feel like he would have the same outcome anywhere in the world against his opponent.
Absolutely. But I like the way you worded that and phrased that, France. It's a very fancy way of saying that he sets up the terms to be in his favor. But for me, I'm like, and this is all speculatory, this is all speculations, but it just feels like when the battles happen, the content that Shine was able to bring to that battle versus the content that Sick was able to bring to that battle, it just didn't feel like these rappers had the same amount of time to write. You know what I'm saying? Now, I can't say that for a fact, K-Shine had 2-3 months and decided that, yes, please let this guy know I'll battle him now. And this guy only has...
Real Sick did report that he had 2 weeks.
Or even less than that or whatever. You know what I mean? So, I'm not gonna
Yeah,
say
12 days actually. Yeah, you're right, 12 days.
right, but I'm just listening to the material. I'm like, golly, like this is some. This guy's not hitting, man. This is all 3 rounds of bombs. Like, come on now. Like this is a little ridiculous, man. Like you went from that to this. Like that. Come on, what's happening here? I mean,
Hey,
Keishawn's
but
he's always been one of the greats, but I'm like, bruh, this don't feel like no 12 days worth of preps right here. You know what I'm saying? Especially from a
Jakkboy
guy
also
who's not that quick prep.
Jakkboy also says to 3-letter, I know what I asked for, and I'm looking at this like this is me getting up there and proving I can perform with one of the greats. Jakkboy, if there was any situation that you wanted to make a legacy-defining statement, it would be here. Keishawn in Urban Plaza with the odds against you and every possible component that you would think, right? This is where you make your moment, where you have your best performance, your career high, you break out, you show that you can be competitive and that you belong. This is it right here. This is it.
France. Do you think Jakkboy revisits his infamous F the Yankees, F the Mets, F the Giants, F the Jets? Do you think he's going to do that on the stage? You think he's going to double down?
I would highly advise him not to.
Is he going to pull a raccoon move?
I would highly advise him to not do so. However, I'm pretty sure Keishawn has no problem flipping that. Okay. Keishawn definitely has a plethora of things to work with, and even when we've seen Keishawn in New York plenty of times, he just knows how to captivate in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He has the formula, and this is where I want to have this honest conversation about Jakkboy, man. Like, he was most improved battle rapper last year. I love this 2021. You know what I'm saying? He broke out in many ways, a T-top win. He found a way to implement angles into his battles. And for years, he used to say he didn't like personals. And once he finally started to do angles, like, it was amazing. Against Oops, had an all URL round. Like, I really respected the run Jack put on last year. But as of this year, his only win so far is against Chess, in my opinion, because on the app, he won against Chess, but he's losing against Tink the Demon. You know what I'm saying? He's losing the 2-on-2 with him and First Lady Flames against DNA and Official. And then he lost to First Lady Flames. And I know. Everybody says the First Lady Flames loss is like, oh, that's his woman, like, didn't matter, like, brushed it off. He didn't try that hard. And I feel like that not only does that downplay First Lady Flames, I look at your track record on the stage, and I ain't confident to say that if you try, you still would have won, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jakkboy on the stage, I just don't feel like he hits the same way like he does in a small room. Like, the John battle, everybody holds on to his first round, but the next 2 rounds such a debacle that I can't even find any cherish or light in that first round. You know what I'm saying? His franchise battle where he didn't get almost nothing out, right? This Young Cannon battle, that wasn't that great on the big stage. I know he's been on Urban Plaza before. He did the 2-on-2 with Ryder, but let's be honest, that battle was a Royal Rumble. You know what I'm saying? Twerk got in there. Like, that battle ended up being a whole Royal Rumble. Didn't Nitty get in there too? Like,
yeah.
That battle was the most entertaining mess I've ever seen.
Hold on, wait a minute. Didn't Poison Pen get in there? Pause. Yeah, Poison Pen was rapping.
Like, that joint was a Royal Rumble. It was a mess. It was an entertaining mess.
Poison Pen said, rah.
But a 2-on-2 can only go so far for individual one-on-one sample size. Of course, he has some good performances, like I would say None or Big T. They're at the top in Richmond. So just put a little nuance there. You know what I'm saying? The Jay West battles is okay. It's also in Richmond. I do think his Tink battle is not that bad, but I had him losing to Tink. He kind of gassed out in the 3rd round. But even then, bro, so the sample size for him not being good on a big stage is very large. Due to his ability or not, like, sometimes he may not be prepared. Sometimes he may have flare-ups that prevent him from being able to tap into his full energy. And,
lupus flare-ups.
Correct. Lupus flare-ups.
Because flare-ups can sound crazy. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. He has these moments that like, just, I've been waiting for him to really captivate and dominate a stage. And I feel like I haven't seen it. And in the few highlights that he does have, those opponents are not Keishawn, bro.
I hear you, France. I hear you, man. And I know we said that we're gonna save the full breakdown and the predictions for another time, but man, it sounds like you already made up your mind who's gonna win this battle.
Listen, if there's optimism for Jack having a career high performance here, I salute that. You know what I'm saying? And even in that scenario, I'm not confident that the best Jack in the world still beats, a good to great K Shine. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot I have to see and be proven, be told. The track record says otherwise. I'm just not confident in his chances here. It would really be a spectacular upset, in my opinion, if he did anything else.
Man, my final words, K Shine in New York. It's too tough, man.
Good luck. Respectfully, though, you know what I'm saying? It was respectful, right, Vlad?
Not that bad, right?
Not bad.
Not that bad. It didn't sting too much.
I just haven't been captivated yet by him on the big stage like I have been on the small room. That's all.
Yeah, I'll say this, man. Following him being most improved battler, I just expected him to continue on that trajectory or maybe even step it up another level. And I felt like he's not even meeting the level that he met in 2021 when he won. So it's like
just look at the sample size from when he's been back to now.
That's what I'm saying.
T-Top, his best performances, T-Top, Oops, maybe the Cortez one. Those are in small rooms. The chess one for sure, even though it's a one-rounder. Small rooms. Then you transfer over to Saga, First Lady Flames, and Tink, and those performances don't hold the candle to his T-Top or Oops performance. They just don't.
Facts. So, but if there's ever a time, to turn that story around, it's now.
This is the defining moment for sure.
This is it, player. I don't want to hear nothing else after this one, man. This is it.
Yeah, if this continues to add on to the sample size, it's time to just accept somebody's ceiling for what it is. And
I don't want to hear, oh man, I've been waiting for this battle for this long that I got disinterested in it. Yeah, man, if I would have gotten the battle sooner. Nah, I don't want to hear none of that. I want to see a fire performance, on that big stage. That's it.
And that's that. Lastly, Mook and Geechi, we talked about it a lot. We'll probably talk about it some more ad nauseum in the near future. But now that we know it's in New York, has anything changed for you?
No. Right. We talked about it last week in detail. We speculated on it, and now that we know for sure, nothing changed. You know what? I take that back. Yes, I do think that something does change. I think that Geechi becomes a little bit more focused with this one.
Yeah.
I feel like Atlanta is neutral territory. You can just come in, do the whoop whop bam, and get up out of there. Mm-hmm. But I feel like when you're in someone's backyard and it's time to make that statement. It's like, when you got Lux at home and you got 100 of your friends pulling up and you're a lot more relaxed, but now when you got to go to somebody's back, he probably still gonna pull up with 100 of his friends there. So, he's still gonna feel just as comfortable. But now, man, this is Irving Plaza. This means a lot more than some venue in Long Beach that URL might never go back to, that a sound stage. You know what I mean? Like, this is Irving freaking Plaza. Geechi hasn't battled Irving Plaza. All the things that he's done in the course of his career, he hasn't done this yet. So this is the first time he gets to touch that stage where legends were made, and you get an opportunity to take on one of New York's kings. I definitely do think that it changes for Geechi somewhat, and it raises the level of awareness for the battle, and it raises the level of intensity for the battle for him.
Adds another caffeine headliner to his resume, as well. And I'll be totally honest, man. I think Geechi's laser focused. I think he's really excited. And I've been hearing a lot of people like, oh, it's in New York. Or now Mook has Mook 2-1 or Mook 3-0. Or like now they're like more convinced that Mook has a better opportunity. And I'm here to.
Did they not see the Solomon battle?
And I'm here to dispel that as well, Vlad. Okay, because I went back and watched the Verb battle recently from start to finish. Okay?
Yeah.
I forgot at one point in that room, they low-key booed Mook for a reach. Remember, like Verb was like put out the reach hand, and you can hear the boo. You can hear the boo birds in that. You
can hear the groaning.
And in his second round, he had like when he started like the alcohol scheme, I believe, he was like, "They sleep. They sleep." I'm like, "Hold on, man. Were you complaining about the crowd being asleep in drum?
Listen, man.
He was on his way to not being that good in that 2-on-2 against Briz and Top before the Royal Rumble happened too. All right.
The sample size hasn't been kind, man.
Not at all.
Thank goodness he has that Tay-Rock battle that gives us all a glimmer of hope. But once again, that was a 1-versus-1 with only Smack in the room and the cameramen. You know what I mean? So we're not gonna get that again. So if that happened at Drum with 300 people there, now you got 4 or 5 times the people there. You know what's going to happen on that big stage. Only time can tell. But we've seen Geechi time and time again rock that bitch, man. So, you know, we know what to expect from Geech. It's just Mook. What's he going to bring?
I just want to also dispel this idea that New York is biased. Like, New York's a melting pot. Like, people have come from out of town many times and battled New York MCs in New York and gotten more love than them. It's happened.
Oh, absolutely.
We don't have to act like it never happened. It's happened. And I also feel like because New York hasn't gotten an event in such a long time, the overly anticipated, hype, eager beast of boo birds, people that want to boo,
they're gonna be calm. They're gonna be calm for a little bit.
You know, they I don't know. They might make an appearance earlier than needed for no reason. I don't know. We'll see. And
I think it's actually the other way around, because I think when you have so many events going on in New York, it's easy to just go boo, because you know you're gonna get another one and another one. But
we're gonna be grateful. We're gonna be like, thank you. We're gonna be on our best behavior so we can get more. That's what you're saying.
It's 18 minutes and 37 seconds, and Mook is still rapping. Thank you. We just gonna be grateful.
I don't know. I'll be flat out honest, man. I don't know. The coach has grown so much that, like, I feel like they're ready to show their ass and just be like, "This is why we're the toughest stage." Like, let me remind you. I don't know. I feel like that might happen.
Dudes just wake up just drinking Haterade, ready to boo, practicing their booze.
Hey, listen. I could be wrong. You could be right. I could be right. You could be wrong. Who knows? Also, like I said earlier, he has to rap after Viixen. K-Shine, Swamp. Lord of Stumbles and Slade set the stage on fire. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, hold on, Frank. Yo, I feel a little heat coming from you over there, man. Towards Mook. I didn't get it the first time when you said Viixen. I'm like, maybe I'm a little tired. Like I'm like, what's going? I'm like, I don't understand this Viixen thing. I'm trying to make sense of it in my mind, and now you talk about he's got to rap after Kid Slade and stuff. I'm sensing some sarcasm coming from over there, player. What do you really want to say right now?
All I'm saying is the last 2 times he was on the big stage, a rookie outperforming them. Don't let this time be the third.
Oh, man. You're making me less and less excited for this battle every time you talk about it, man.
You can't cut the line and go early like in the Verb battle and this time, right? Yeah, your main event.
Why not? That might be the best thing for all of us.
Oh, man, your main event, have your main event responsibilities, man. Go last and rock the room.
Oh, man. I don't know, friends. Thank you, man, for bringing my anticipation of this battle down just a tad bit. Thank you, friends.
Hey, listen, man. I'm just very skeptical of the sample size, like I said last time, and I don't know, man. If it's just
hold on, are you expecting Kid Slay to do better than Murda Mook on that stage?
I'm not expecting it. I'm just saying, don't let it happen.
Don't let it happen. Who are you? Don't let it happen. This guy over here.
Nah. I'm actually anticipating for Mook to, like, hopefully adjust, man. You know what I'm saying? I really look the ball. Like I said, look, if we're keeping it a buck, Vlad, you would have to give a conscious effort to replicate that Reed Dollaz performance. Like, you would have to really try your best to do that again. So, like, to be better than that is extremely possible. And I hope that he's better than that. And I want him to be better than that. But I'm not confident that he can or will be better than that.
Hey, I hear you, player. I hear you, man. We just gonna
Is that
have to
fair? Is
wait.
that fair?
That was very fair because I like the fact that you said you're not confident that he can or will be. You didn't just, you didn't make it a permanent sentence there. So there's still
No.
hope there.
I will always respect the fact that battle rap is any given day. Like that's why you can never just slam the possibility out of anything. Like even Jakkboy, like I said, if he reaches his ceiling that day and is the best version of himself, then we'll see it. But like you just can't rule out that possibility because at the end of the day, these guys are professionals. He's an all-time great, right? Battling a 3-time champion of the year. Like you would think this makes you rise to the occasion, being this bunch of an underdog in your city and everybody's doubting you. Like there's got to be some kind of perseverance. You know what I mean?
Fact though. Oh man, it's gonna be one of them ones though, man. One way or the other. One way or the other. It's gonna be something to talk about leaving that battle. You know what I don't want? I don't want to leave the battle when it's just a stinker. You know what I mean?
On both ends?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is a possibility that we don't always talk about in battle rap.
Right.
But I feel like, sometimes you could put so much on a battle and now it's like, oh my God, Geechi's coming to New York to face the Godzilla of New York and blah, 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 blah. And then we, at the end of the night after, Mook is rapped after Viixen and Jazz and the Kid Slades of the world. You know what I mean? And then we're just both standing there going, huh? Again? What's going on here? Like, because Reed and Mook, both MCs were not that good.
Yeah, you know what? I want to say this too. Can we make sure to always remember Reed deserves some of that credit in that?
Hello.
All right, you know what I'm saying? Y'all give Reed way too much of a pass, all right? You know what I'm saying? Y'all say Chess is being punished for headlining against a rookie. And meanwhile, Reed is headlining against a rookie over here as well. And everybody's like praising it. And it's like, hold on, this man just choked, recycled, like went through his phone and then put on a bad big stage battle. That's his last 4 battles. What he doesn't get, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, but I'm sorry to do it to Reed, but I had to make sure it was said.
2 weeks in a row. It's all good though, man. But but it is fun. It is funny that you mentioned that. Chess is getting chastised for being on this, rookies versus vets card. And Reed is like, oh man, Reed's giving back. He's battled on the blood, sweat, tears joint. Like
it's not like Reed hadn't been putting on great performances prior to that neither.
Oh man. All right, man. Well, all right. Enough of Reed. Reed doesn't need to catch any more strays this week. He don't even got a battle. He don't need to catch enough strays this week. But I do feel you though. But but I have faith in this battle. I think it's going to be a good battle, but we were just going off what I don't want to happen. And that's definitely what I don't want to happen.
I think there's a world where like the optics, you have T-Rex there. It gets real nostalgic. He hits a punchline very early, but then it all just like he kills his own momentum and then doesn't get it back. And then Geechi finds his and hits a stride and peaks in the battle really high. And then Mook can't match that. Like that's how I anticipate it going. You know what I'm saying?
We gonna see, man. We gonna see, player.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be there in the crib, chilling, watching that joint.
That's gonna be a fun pod for us. I'll be outside. I'm outside.
Oh yeah, we know you outside, player.
Yeah.
I'll see you outside.
Yeah.
I'll see you on these Twitter streets too, man. Watch yourself, player.
Watch yourself.
I'm just leaving it right there, man. I ain't saying nothing.
Your vote should have been you watch yourself, player.
You watch yourself, player. Next, you're gonna be on tour with A1 and Loso and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? That's how outside you gonna be, player. You're gonna be outside like A1 and Loso. You see, you made A1 smoking that cigar?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
With the bags under his eyes?
Yeah.
Watching football all day, getting no sleep at night.
In the tour bus.
And the tour bus going, oh, life sucks.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man. Shout out to those guys, man.
Glad that concludes everything, man.
Oh, man. Another week in the books, friends. Oh, it's been a pleasure podding with you again, player, man. I got to say, I don't take these joints for granted, man. It's Always a pleasure linking up at the end of the week and talking about all the shenanigans that have gone down in battle rap and bringing
a lot of
everyone the
topics
latest
today.
news. Yeah, man. Yeah, I felt like this was a long pod, but we give the people what they want, man. They're getting us once a week, so we gonna maximize. We ain't gonna skip and cheat y'all or anything like that. We're gonna bring y'all the latest and the greatest, man. So as always, log on to letstalkbattlerap.com. Articles will be coming up. As you know, there's a slew of events about to happen, so there's gonna be a slew of articles popping up. So go on over there, man, and follow us at LTBR Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. And until next week, man, peace.